Hello everyone and welcome to this live stream. Today we're going to go through an exterior render. I have a model that I found from SketchUp warehouse here, and I'm going to be creating it fully in Enscape. As of now, in the Enscape window we only have everything set in default settings, so I think a lot of you are going to find a lot of things that we will be using in this live stream helpful. And yeah, we're basically going to go through the composition, the visual settings, the lighting, the materials, and obviously the final render. Until everyone else joins in, let me know in the chat where everyone is watching from. I'm always interested to know more about the audience and the demographics of the viewers. So whenever you join in, just let me know where you're watching from in the live chat here in the live stream. In the meanwhile, I'm going to continue with the render that we have here. So we have the basic modeling. There still needs to be some more details added in, like curbs in the road. And from what I can see as of now, we also need to take care a bit better of the surroundings. So let's see how this whole thing goes. We do have some models of trees which do not look that good, to be honest. So let's get started. Hi, how are you? I'm doing fine, Mohammed. Thank you for asking. Love from India. Nice to have you here. Giovanno, hey, from Indonesia. Nice to have you here. Where's everyone else from as well? I'm always interested to know that, and as always, I find out that people join in from all parts of the world. Anyway, let's first set up the composition. So what I'm thinking for this render, we're gonna need 16:9 aspect ratio, just because the building is more horizontal, it seems. And I understand that it might be a bit harder to split screen, but we're still gonna do it anyway. Let's see how this thing goes. So let's go to the visual settings. Let me just set up the split screen. Let's go to output, let's go to custom. Let me try out how a vertical aspect ratio would look like here. So if I select this as the aspect ratio and I go in the save frame tool, you can see that this is what is showing up. Obviously, for this aspect ratio, we would need a lower field of view. What if we do it in Ultra HD? Yeah, I definitely think this looks better. It might cause trouble for video editing later on, but I think it will be fine. Anyway, let's continue. So I kind of like a frame like this where we have a frame from a tree on the side, and then we have the building in perspective, and then maybe a building in surroundings here, and yeah, we can add some grass and more vegetation in front. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the projection. I'm going to use 2-point perspective. We're going to move this a bit upwards, maybe something like this. And after that, I'm going to go to, well, not the asset library. I'm going to go to the view management, and I'm going to create a view, and I'm going to name it as camera 1. Let me delete this, and we have one custom preset. So next thing that I'm going to aim for here is I'm going to try and set up some of the materials a little bit better. First of all, we need to fix up the grass. The grass is going to play a big portion of the image here, so it's probably like 1/4 of the image is filled with grass, so we need to take care of how this looks. So I'm going to add a texture that I have here in my computer for the grass. Also, in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be looking over in the chat. So I got a grass texture here. Let's see how it looks like once it is imported. I'm probably gonna make it a little bit darker. So maybe something like 6. Add the lightness category. We're gonna wait a bit until it updates. Well, maybe this is too dark. So let's go for 8. South Africa, I love your work. Thank you for joining in. Did you do the modeling by yourself? No, I found this in the SketchUp warehouse. Honestly, I do not like to do the modeling of the live streams just because it takes way too much time, and I honestly find that the reason why most people join the live stream is because of the rendering part. But if you guys want to see me do the modeling as well, let me know in the chat right now, because I'm definitely open to do that in a future live stream. So I'm going to reset the color back. As you can see, SketchUp is responding a bit slower just because we have auto update on. It probably would have been smarter for me to turn off auto update while I'm doing this, because the whole process would be a lot smoother. But anyway, so over here I'm going to name this grass just so it takes all the the configurations of real grass just by naming it. Sorry, I was thinking about maybe changing the color with a tint here. So if I go for something like this, I think this looks better. Okay. And then height variation, we can make it a bit more variable, I guess, and then we can increase the height a bit. The roughness, I guess that's fine, it doesn't play. From Bahrain, your videos really helped me with my rendering process. I'm glad to hear that. Nice that we have people from Bahrain as well. I'm very glad to have you here. All right, so next up, what I'm gonna do is, let me see if I can find a better brick material. So I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna go to my textures over here, and I'm gonna see if I can find something better. So if I import this, okay, so it's just way too big as of now, but maybe if I make it, let's say 100, I think it's still gonna be too big. Actually, I think this looks fine. Let me check if I have another brick material in my computer. So brick, I think that might be the only one. Brick 045. Nope, I don't think I have any other brick material. We can also go through the Enscape material library as well, but as of now, we're gonna leave it at this, and we're gonna add the other maps on this material. First of all, I want to turn off the sun brightness because this is making our materials look very different. I'm going to turn it off all the way down because I don't think we're going to use the default sky and Enscape later on. We're probably going to import an HDRI as always. You probably, if you watched my videos before, you're probably familiar with the process that I do for lighting. Anyway, let's go to the height map. I'm going to add my displacement map here. And let's change this to displacement. Maybe it's a bit too harsh. Let's keep it something like this. Now I'm feeling like the bricks are a bit too small. So let's do something like 120. I think this is a bit more realistic. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to import the roughness map as well. And I think I want the brick to be a little bit darker. Not too dark, but a bit darker. I'm not sure about it now. Maybe I try to get a brick from the Enscape material library. You know, I think it's very important to get the brick right here. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. Let's try to download brick 01. I think it would be nice for Enscape to maybe just have the actual surface selected and then just click apply material instead of having to download it. Will you be doing a night scene for this live? Would appreciate if you could. How the process for I don't think I'm going to do a live render for this. I mean a night render for this live. I think I did a night render a few live streams ago, but I'm probably going to do another one soon. So yeah, I'm not sure for this brick material. Actually, I'm just going to leave the brick as it is as of now because I think we'll definitely need some more. So this is concrete. Well, in that case, I'm going to need a better concrete material as well. Let me see if I have something here which would serve us in this image. Let's see if this one would work. I guess this is fine. Maybe we just make it a bit lighter, and this would definitely need displacement map. Let's see if I have one here. So as you saw, my materials are not very well organized. Usually they are, but not this time. So we're gonna have to deal with it. Anyway, let's use the bump map. I'm gonna increase the bump map a bit, and maybe I keep the saturation a lot lower because right now it looks a bit yellowish. And we're gonna continue. So next up, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna select this black material and I'm gonna make it metallic because this is super important. It covers a big part of the image as well. See the frames and all of this metallic part will look much better now. Maybe the roughness is a bit too low. Maybe we'll leave it at around 50. But other than that, we're gonna leave it like this as of now. Now, next up, I'm gonna go to sky. I just want to get the HDRI out of the way because I cannot stand the image looking like this. I'm gonna go to HDRIs. Let's try this one. This usually works for me, so let's rotate it a bit and let's see how. Oh, well, I have to turn the sun brightness a bit on. So if I go for 4, maybe let's do 15, something a bit stronger. Maybe this is too strong. Let's do 12. Let me find a good angle for the sun. Oh, we have to choose brightest point as sun direction. This is very important for the image. Let's see how this looks. I actually like some of the trees being forecasted in the building. I actually like how this sun angle looks so far. What do you guys think? Do you like how the lighting is set up now? I think there probably needs to be less shadows here in the ground. But for that, I'm gonna take off some of these trees because we don't really need them. Let me select these. Maybe I turn off auto update until then. I'm not sure why these trees, is there, let me see if there are tags in this modeling for the trees. Side trees, good. Okay, we took them off. We can turn auto update. I'm not sure why there's still shadows being casted here. Maybe that takes a bit more time. Good. All right. Okay, so now I have a bit more freedom with where the shadows are casted and where the framing of the tree comes from. So I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna go to tree, and then I'm gonna scroll down to maybe, let's see how this will look like. So let's see where the camera is placed first. We probably need larger trees, so I'm gonna delete that. I think I chose that one. Let me try this out. Okay, and then let's try this. I definitely want some shadows to be casted here. So maybe I make this a lot larger. Let's see how that plays a role into the building. Maybe I move it a bit backwards. That way it is not, like the shadows are not so large. Maybe something like this. I guess something like this can work. What do you think? So far, I mean, this is not the final image, obviously. We still need to take care of a lot of stuff. Let me save this real quick just so we don't lose progress. In the meantime, I'm looking at this. We're definitely gonna need some more vegetation at the foreground here. We definitely need better surroundings, and I'm gonna take care of that. But the building overall looks nice. We're gonna need some cars and more people moving around just for it to look a bit more alive. And then after that, yeah, I think we might do some modification of like plants in these balconies here of the building. But let's see how this goes. I think it will look fine. I'm excited for this. Anyway, next up, let me add a better pavement here. I do not like this, so I'm gonna go to pavement. I usually use this one. Maybe I changed it up a bit this time. So maybe if I import this and we have something glitching out here. So just a minute. We have Teddy from Indonesia as well. Nice. Where is everyone else from? Let me know in the chat here. And in the meanwhile, if you have any questions about the process or anything regarding 3D rendering that you think I could help, feel free to let me know in the chat. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Let's wait a tiny bit here because as you can see, the importing of the material is not very like smooth. So by the way, if you guys are looking to see more of my content, how many of you actually follow me in other social media other than YouTube? Let me, how can I add a poll here? Okay. Follow me on other social media. Yes and no. Because honestly, I do not post everything on every single social media that I'm on. Wait, let me maybe just... Oh, this is a bit messy. I'm not sure what's happening here. Let me take this off completely first. I'm gonna open Task Manager. Okay, so it closed down completely. Nice. Let me open the actual file up. 1 second. As you can see, Enscape is always making SketchUp crash. So yeah, that's weird. Like your small tips. You mean the actual shorts, or what do you mean by that? Okay, now we have the file open once again. Okay, we have most of the things set up here. I'm gonna start Enscape, and then I'm gonna download that pavement material once again, and hopefully this time this doesn't cause any crashing. Anyway, I'm gonna wait. In the meanwhile, I'll be looking for some inspiration pictures, but you know what? I actually think the overall image looks fine. So let's move this over here. Okay, let me go back to camera 1, and we're gonna be back on the way we set it up earlier. We're gonna turn on the safe. Actually, wow, this looks very good as well. Maybe I use this composition. How can I change this up? Use viewport as aspect ratio. So I just found out a whole new composition for this. Let me check. Oh, also, I'm gonna go back to camera 1, and I'm gonna need to turn off the tags here as well, and then update the scene. I'm gonna turn off 3D trees, and let me update this. Good. Okay. Is everything showing up right in live stream? Can you hear me well? Okay. I think the audio should be fine. Anyway, let me continue with the rest of the stuff. Let me move a bit upwards, and then next up, I'm gonna turn off these edges. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna go add the pavement. Let me download the same one. Hopefully this time it doesn't crash. Oh my god, if this makes SketchUp crash one more time, I'm gonna be super pissed. Okay, good. How many of you watched the Chaos unboxing event? And how many of you, well, I mean, I'm not gonna ask this because I already know the answer, but since I'm pretty sure no one was happy with it. What is up with me not, okay, so this is locked. That's why we weren't able to edit it. Okay, so I used this pavement. Now I'm gonna select it over here as well. I'm gonna add a curb on that side of the road, and then I'm gonna add the new pavement here as well. Good, all right. And then this, we're probably gonna use a concrete material. It already has concrete, I think, but maybe it needs to be a bit darker. Oh, so it is the same material as that one. Well, I don't want that to be the same material, so I'm gonna go back to concrete here. I'm gonna scroll down. Let me choose this one. I'm gonna download it. Hopefully this, once again, doesn't make SketchUp crash. Good, all right. Let me save this. And yeah, I think it's time to work a bit on the surroundings. It's gonna be hard to find similar buildings to this, like ready from the asset library. So maybe we go to street props and let me scroll down. We need some high rise in the back. So let's add something like this. Maybe I rotate it a bit. Let me delete these whole, oh, I didn't mean to delete the whole file. Let me go undo this. Anyway, let me go inside. I'm gonna select these. I'm gonna select all, not really. Let me just select some of these like this. I'm gonna delete them. Good. This should be updated soon. Let me add another building. Maybe something like this one. Maybe a bit more in the back. Just leave it like that. And then here on the other side, I think something like that in the background might be good. Now we have to take care of the sides and that one. So what would work well here? Let me see. Most of these are apartment buildings. This is an office building, but I don't want it to be larger than our building because that would just take away the emphasis of what our composition is trying to achieve. Or maybe we just do something like this. Let me use the move tool once again. Let me make it a lot smaller. Let's move this a bit backwards as well. Okay. I think this is better. Anyway, let me try and use another building for over there. That is going to be more visible. So let's try this office building. Let me delete this one. And yep. Let me make this one smaller as well. I'm going to use the S key to scale it down. I'm going to move it and go over here. Let me maybe double it. I guess so. Okay. And then maybe another one in the back. I'm not sure about this one. I think we already used it. So let's try this. Okay. It doesn't look too bad like the surroundings now. It looks like a real city, I guess. Maybe this a bit more in the back. Let me try to flip this. Let me do something like this. I guess it doesn't make a difference, huh? Okay. Now, next up, what I'm going to need to do is maybe move this a bit closer to the composition. I think the distance is not well. We just have to change location. And then I'm going to add some vegetation in the foreground. But firstly, let me save this, and then I'm going to add I'm going to add irregularities in the foreground vegetation. We're going to add some bushes and stuff like that here. So let's see. Let's go to assets. Let's go to multi-asset placement. Let's go to vegetation, and let's go to bush. Yeah, bush and flowers, I guess. Well, we don't need both of those. So let's see. Maybe something like the, I'm just gonna select random ones. Hopefully they don't let us down. And let's do a paint bucket tool. Let's increase the density. Maybe that's a bit too much. Regenerate. Let's try another one. Oh, okay, now I see where the problem is. So this one is not selected. I'm not sure. Let's confirm placement, I guess. And then we can do the same thing for this too, maybe. Or is this too much? I'm not sure. Let's see. Wait. Maybe I take this part off completely. Let's see. Okay. Now I see where the issue was. Let me go back to the multi-asset placement and let me try to use this here once again. Maybe the density a bit lower this time, but now we click confirm placement. And what I would do is I would probably use this a bit closer, make it a bit larger. Maybe not as large, but something like that. And if I move this here as well, and now I need something to add. I need to add more variety to these up front. So let me go to bush. Let me scroll down. Let's see. What about this? Okay, this is way too small. That won't do it. Maybe something like this can help. Let's move it down a bit. Let's go over here. Perfect. Maybe these two, I move them a bit downwards. Maybe this, increase it a bit, just to be a bit more irregular. Is it too much? I'm not sure. Maybe it needs to be a bit lower, all of them together. Okay, let me try to add a depth of field here. I think this is maybe too much and it looks a bit too raw, but let's see. If I add the depth of field and the focal point all the way to the building and make this at ultra, maybe the depth of field a bit lower. I'm from India and I'm subscriber to your channel because I'm an Enscape lover. Can you share your PC specification? I get this question every time and I'm not sure why I don't just post it in the description, but it's basically an RTX 2060, 128 gigabytes of RAM and Intel i9, not sure what generation, I think 11th generation or 12th, not sure. But yeah, it does the job. I think the graphics card could be better, but who cares? It does the job just fine, so yeah. Anyway, let me take this off and let me go over here. I'm gonna need some street props, and basically what I'm gonna need from street props is something like this where I can place trees. Let me copy, well, let me move this here. And let me do, for example, 5x. Maybe take off this one. Okay. Now, let me copy this over here as well. Let me copy this over here as well. And now I can add some, I want to add some vegetation along these lines, maybe the same kind of tree, maybe an oak tree. And I can just rotate maybe the sizes and stuff like that. So if I add something here, let me try, for example, then something different than this one. The size of that is too big, but I can maybe tweak that later. Let me choose this one. I'm just testing out different ones. The sizes of these are too big for sure, but yeah, as I said, we're gonna lower these. So I guess this one is fine. This one we're gonna make it smaller. Let's just move it over here. This one, let's make it a lot smaller as well. Let me rotate it. Let me move it over here. Yeah, I think these sizes were too big for what we needed. Although I like the way the lighting looks in these, so that one I'm gonna leave bigger. Now I'm just gonna copy these two and make them bigger on this side. So let's see how this looks this time. Let's make this bigger. Okay. All right. Maybe too much vegetation, but now we're gonna add some cars and people moving, and that's gonna balance things out. Although I like how the greenery looks and I like how the sun is hitting it. So let me go to vehicles. Let's add some cars. I do not want any like exotic, super like luxury cars because it just looks very randomly placed in a location like this. So what is this? Is this like an M6 or something? Yeah. I don't like these cars, but anyway, I don't like the M6. I'm gonna go and choose something else. Audi. I don't like Audis. Let's see. This Mercedes. This one works. Right now, it's almost like playing Sims. Okay. And maybe I can add a larger vehicle. What do you guys think of my car taste? Oh no, no way I'm including the wagon there. So, well, maybe just the front of it so people cannot tell that it's a wagon, because who likes wagons? Who likes, yeah. Okay, and then maybe I can add a bus or something like that in the back, or maybe a truck, or I don't know. Let's see. Let's add a van here. Good. Let me rotate it once again to something like this. All right. Now we can add some people walking and bicycles and all of that. So this is the bicycle lane. It's called, let me go to all. Let me go to people, in fact. Bicycle. Okay, there's a lot of people riding a bicycle here. So let's do this one. I'm just gonna add a few random ones. So this over here works, and then let's add someone else over here. Let me add a few people. I'm gonna distribute them in just a minute. Why can't I tell where this person is? Or is it not showing on my, okay, this one works, but that one doesn't show for some reason. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. As always, I'll be ready to answer them to the best of my ability. Let's add another bicycle here. Well, this looks a bit random and unnatural, the way these bikes are placed. Anyway, okay, so now I'm gonna need to add some people. So what I'm gonna do, let's try, I've never tried using the multi-asset placement for people. So I'm interested to see how that works. I'm gonna add people walking. So let's say this one, this one, this one, this one, just a bunch of random ones. This one, yeah, okay. So let's say I choose this part of the road for people. Let me try to add the, oh my god, that's way too many people. I think this is gonna look so bad. From Russia, nice to have you here. Okay, I think this is gonna look way too bad. No, okay. Regenerate. Let me try and confirm placement. I'm not sure how this is gonna look. Apply changes, whatever, let's see. This is fine, honestly. Maybe there's, oh my god, this is not that good. Not what I expected. Anyway, let me move this over here. Let me rotate it. All these NPCs need to get out of here. And then maybe we can do something similar for this side of the road. I'm not sure. Maybe let's try this. It's gonna be way too much, right? Let me just take this off. Yes, discard placement. Anyway, what else do we need here? let me go back to our camera view. Good. So we have some people. We're probably gonna need to add some over there as well. I like how the image is looking so far. Honestly, I do like it. Let's add some plants here in these balconies, like some greenery. I think that would help the image a lot. Let me go once again to these styles and just take these off. Okay. Let me select this, take it off. Let me select this. Okay, now we're gonna need to add some greenery. I think that's gonna look beautiful. Interior plant. What is it called? Okay, I think they're all the way down here. By now, I know all of the Enscape asset library and where everything is, so that's cool. That allows me to save time. Is there anything better looking? This is way too small. What about this? Let's make this bigger. I think we need a lot more greenery there though. This is not enough. Let me choose this olive tree. Wow. So random. Why are these so small? This maybe? I don't know. I'm not that good with like plants, and like my plant knowledge isn't that well. If you can tell over here, there used to be a plant in my videos. It's not anymore. Guess why? Because I didn't take care of it properly. Anyway, let me continue here. Just choosing and searching for plants in Enscape because we do need some here. Well, maybe let's just choose this, and then I'm gonna add some ivy. Let's see, and then another one could be, maybe the final one can be this one. Maybe some of these are like interior plants, but I'm not sure. Let's just make this a lot bigger as well. Okay, now let me copy these and move them upwards. Okay, now something like this can look interesting. Let me go over here. Let me rotate these, I guess, something like that, just to make them a bit more random. Cool. Now, oh yeah, we need some of these and the other side as well. This vegetation that we're adding, I think this makes a difference, like a pretty big difference in the render. Plus, when we also add the actual ivy, respect from Kosovo, big Albania, big man. Let me go to the ivy. Let me go and search it up here. Creeper plant. Okay. Let me go vegetation. Let me choose this one. I'm gonna add a few random ones. I'm not gonna overdo it because it can ruin our image if we overdo it. Maybe it's already over ruining our image because we already have too much vegetation. What do you think of the image so far? Any recommendations? Any tweaks you think might help it look better? Honestly, I think it looks fine. Not much I would add. Maybe the glass could be a bit more reflective. So if I add the specular here, I guess so. Let me see. So I think as far as modeling and adding stuff, I think this is enough. I'm not gonna overdo it. It probably even is overdone now that I'm thinking about it with all the vegetation that we have here. But one thing that I want to try out is maybe a different HDRI. So let's do HDRI 2. Let me rename this HDRI 1. First of all, in the HDRI 1, is there maybe a better sun placement which would help us? Which would make the image look even better? not something that I can tell. Okay, so for this HDRI, we're gonna leave this rotation, and then for HDRI 2, I'm gonna go over here. Let me try Suns, or maybe the urban HDRI. This is a bit different. Not sure I really like this. No, I don't like this. Let me try a different one. Let's try the sunrise HDRI. Come on. Well, this is a bit heavier. Anyway, in the meantime, let me check chat. Okay, good. Okay, let's see how this will look. I like the sky, but I don't like the lighting, like the way the sun looks. It is a bit too dark. I mean, it looks interesting. We can leave it as an option. Maybe I can try a different rotation. Okay, I mean, let's just leave it like this. Let's duplicate. Let's go HDRI 3. In HDRI 3, I'm going to try a completely different one. Let's try cloudy HDRI. And then in just a minute, I'm going to ask you guys which one you like best. So for this one, sun brightness is going to need to be a bit lower. Let me try the rotation. I don't like the cloudy one. Let me test out a different one. Let's try this one probably as the final option. Let's just wait a little bit until, okay, so this was the, I don't like this. Wasteland clouds, this can be good. Okay, so for the final option, we're gonna leave this, and in just a minute, you guys are gonna vote which HDRI you like best. So I'm gonna open up a poll. Let me close the existing one. End poll. Why can't I put an HDRI file on Skybox? Maybe you didn't download the right file format. It needs to be an HDRI file format. Let's start a poll. So, which one looks best? I'm gonna put in HDRI 1, HDRI 1, 2, and HDRI 3. Okay. So I left a poll. Let me know what you guys think. So this is HDRI 1. This is the first one. This is my personal favorite. This is HDRI 2. This has a completely different setup. Wait, is this HDRI 2 or what's going on here? I think it's just taking some time to load. So this is HDRI 2. I think this looks very cool as well, honestly. Maybe if we increase the sun brightness on this, it will look even better. Yeah, this is HDRI 2 and this is HDRI 3. HDRI 3 maybe needs a bit more sun brightness as well. What do you think? Once again, this is HDRI 1. This is a bit more like whitish, I guess. This is HDRI 2. Honestly, I also like the HDRI 2 as well, especially, wait until it loads up. Will this video be on YouTube after live? I'm not sure. Even if it is, it's going to be after a long time. Because it needs time to be repurposed. Honestly, I like this one as well. I really like this one as well. This is HDRI 2 and this is HDRI 3. Which one do you guys like best? HDRI 3 for me is out of the equation. We have 2 votes. I'm going to keep the poll up for just another minute. In the meantime, you guys can vote. I'm between HDRI 2 and HDRI 1. This is how HDRI 2 will look. 1 second. I think this looks very cool. I like this, the way this looks. We have another vote for HDRI 1. Need to learn how to Enscape to V-Ray. I have a video on that in my channel if you want to check that out as well. Okay, I'm gonna leave the poll up for just another minute. In the meantime, you guys can decide. But you know what? Maybe I can end the poll as we're gonna download the skybox. All of these are downloaded in Polyhaven. Anyway, so for HDRI 2, do we need any tweaking? I like the auto contrast, the saturation. It can be around here. Color temperature. Yeah, I think it's all fine. Honestly, anything that I would touch on this, it would just ruin the image. Let's take this back to normal. Yeah. Fog, I don't think we need fog here. Sun brightness is fine. Shadow sharpness, we maybe lower it a bit. Ambient brightness, we increase it. Sky is fine. Everything looks fine. Just for the sake of the comparison, I'm gonna do 2 renders. One of them is gonna be with HDRI 1 and one of them is gonna be with HDRI 2. And we're gonna test them out. I follow you on Instagram too. Nice to have you here as well. You know what? If you guys don't mind, in the meantime, I think my next social media where I will be posting a lot more stuff which will be helpful to you will be on Facebook. So I'm gonna drop the link in the chat right now, and if you guys can go and just check out the page on Facebook, then I'd really appreciate that. One second. I'm not sure why the resolution use viewport aspect ratio. I like it square a bit better. Let me try this out. So if I go over here, if I go to custom, oh, it's the okay. So I just need to make this 1499 as well. Facebook is dead. Not really. So Facebook is very underrated right now. Maybe I do not spend time on Facebook like scrolling and stuff like that. But truth is, a lot of architects are there because most architects are in their I guess 40s, mid 40s, 50s, and yeah, it definitely made sense for me to be there too because that is my target audience, the architects. I really like how this came out, honestly. We've been live for 51 minutes now. We managed to create this in like 45. We probably could have done it even faster if it wasn't for the testing, but I mean, testing is part of the process, so it's all good. Do I even want to test out the HDRI 1? Because honestly, I really like the way this sky looks. You know what? Maybe adding some interior lights could help as well. But honestly, that is something which is pretty challenging to do and to get right. So, and it will take a lot of time in the live stream. And I'm not trying to be here for hours and hours. Like during these live streams, I just try to get the main things down, the most important stuff. You know what? I don't even like this image anymore. So I'm not even going to render it out. I'm going to go back to HDRI 2. I'm just going to try to render out once again with the Ultra HD option. Or maybe just Full HD because most of you are not even going to be able to tell the difference since the actual live stream is Full HD as well. Let's go to Full HD. Let me make this big. I think this looks pretty cool, to be honest. Not sure about this tree here. That one looks weird, but yeah, I mean, I'll just render this out anyway. Maybe I increase the field of view a bit, and I get closer. Let me decrease the field of view once again. Yes, okay. I'll just render this out. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna open up the images that we created in just a second. Meanwhile, they're rendering. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Also, in the meantime, if you guys want to be serious about learning realistic rendering and making it a skill that you could honestly benefit from, let me know. I'm gonna leave the link to my 14-day realistic rendering course right now. I'll be looking forward to meeting you there. I'm gonna copy it once again here. I'm gonna leave it in chat, and if you guys want to check it out, let me know. I go a lot more detail about rendering than what I do here on YouTube. Yes, the brick textures look a bit repetitive. It's way better now. Less green in the shot. Yeah, the brick textures look a bit repetitive, especially over here, but not up close. However, I know there's like UV tiling tools and all that to fix it, but as I said, I'm just trying to get the main stuff out in the live stream and maybe not be super detailed. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, I guess. So this is the first render that we created with a square aspect ratio. Honestly, I like it very much. Like compared to the amount of time that I spent working on it. If we do some adjustments, if you try auto enhance, yeah, that brings up the sky a bit more, and we need that because the green is a bit too dominating, as Pavle said in the chat. I like the square one better. Maybe it is a bit too green, I know, but at the same time, it balances out with the amount of, like, if you see the portion of the image which the sky takes and the actual greenery takes, it's about the same. It's just that I think the greenery is a bit more saturated in the sky, and that's the issue with the image. But anyway, overall, I'm very happy with it. I think it came out looking cool. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, and if you have any other questions. This was it for the live stream. Thank you very much for joining in, and I'll be looking forward to meeting you in next week's live stream, or I'm even thinking doing a render review on Friday or Saturday. But you will see the notification if you already hit the bell button in my YouTube channel. And with that said, I will see you in the next one, and have a